If you want to skip to the parts that I think are good, skip to 2140. Hello guys, and this is a drink review of a drink called Skum Nisse by NOCCO. Skum Nisse, I think it's like a marshmallow. It's like, what is the flavor? My mom loved that candy. I think it's like marshmallow strawberry flavor or something like that. Oftentimes they're called Skum Tomte. Skum, I think it's Scum. Scum Santa. But I don't, yeah, Scum Santa. But not scum in the sense of like a bad guy. Just scum as in the actual scum, you know. Oh god, that doesn't smell very appetizing. So it is a BCAA drink, but I don't have very bad feelings about BCAA drinks anymore, because the newer BCAA drinks I've been drinking have been good. It isn't like the early BCAA energy drinks were all terrible. But it has a pretty cloudy pinkish color. It's okay. It probably tastes like the candy. I mean, I haven't had a candy in years upon years. Because I don't like the consistency of it. But yeah, it is a bit fruity berry flavored. Maybe a bit more towards raspberry. Maybe that is what the flavor of those things are. Well, I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be like, or if it's supposed to taste like a fruit or something, but it's okay. And what I will probably do here at the end, I'm probably gonna put, because I recorded, I was gonna do, because earlier today, when I say earlier, I mean like maybe like 45 minutes ago, I recorded like what I ate for breakfast, and you know, we are cooking some stuff, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I'll record for a whole week, because it's Friday, until like next Friday, and just put all of those recordings into one video, like probably like an hour-long video or something. Or I'll just, you know what? I'll try and remember to do that. Instead, let's do some comments. There we go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's play Battlefield Bad Company 2 Part 1. And this was comment, that was the video. And the comment was by W/OID. The first game had so much heart, charm and character. The single player was like a good buddy movie. The second one tossed all that out the window though. I'm playing the first one, I haven't played I'm playing the second one, I haven't played the first one. I will say, I think I recorded 3 parts. I mean, all the parts that are out at the moment is all I played. And I will say, so far, I would say it is worse than the Call of Duty games I've played. The single players. yeah, because I don't really care about any of the characters. Yeah, so I could see that being the case. Or the fact that they probably have tossed shit out. Because I feel like, alright, well, that's pretty bad. Because as I was playing it, I was like, oh, maybe the reason why I'm not enjoying any of our characters or don't give a fuck about them is probably because, well, it's the second game. It's Bad Company 2. So you have to play the first one. There a lot of character development there. But it does seem like, just judging by that comment, that they just decide, fuck caring about characters, all that. Just do a fucking shooting game. Which, yeah, that's fine for multiplayer. But come on, a single player, you need characters. Let's see. Kazu. Oh, did my connection? Oh, there you go. Okay, well, it won't show me your whole username because I'm on phone. I can only see Kazu Maiha. On food review Rambutan. Can you please eat Hormel spam, scrambled eggs and rice? Thank you. Well, I mean, if you donate enough so that I can buy whatever, all those things, I probably wouldn't buy the rice, however. Probably get some cauliflower rice instead. But I don't know what Hormel spam is. But if you donate enough so where I can buy it in here in Sweden, sure, I'm willing to try anything. And then he also left 2 comments on food and drink review GV's utvalda viltgrillar. The first one is no morphine for me, injectable lidocaine only, which I think is, yeah, this is probably when I talked about the tooth and all that. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it is probably, is lidocaine the local pain remover? Oh, here we go. Let's read his second comment. No, in America now, the trend now is to only remove tonsils if they become problematic. In general, out here there may be multiple cavities due to diet. Product formulation may differ from European countries. I would say that American diets and all that is probably very, very similar, or formulations are probably very, very similar to Britain. Maybe it's even worse, who knows. But I cannot eat British stuff because there's way too much sugar in it, in everything. Like, fuck me, like the local pizzeria or kebab shop. For a while, they were trying to do like, let's do some actual British. They would buy like British product and, you know, British ketchup and all that. And I mean, I complain. I know a lot of others complain because they were talking about it. As I complained, I was like, oh, this is a bit too sweet. It's like, yeah, everyone says that. So they have stopped that because the ketchup, and I had to talk about the ketchup because I'm used to Swedish ketchup, and I also eat unsweetened Swedish ketchup, which is even less sugar, because Swedish ketchup normal is like unsweetened Anglo-sphere ketchup, which is probably a reason why people here in Sweden use ketchup for pasta pretty often, due to the fact that it isn't really that sweet. I know, at least because some Americans that, when I say some, I mean 2. 2 Americans I talked to about this, they were all like completely shocked one was like an Italian American, which I don't think has ever been to Italy. I don't think his parents have been to Italy as well. We joked around a little bit about that. Like how some, you know, those Americans were like, they're like 3 or 4 generations away, but they're still Italian American. They're like, yeah, even those people are African American. To me, it's like, you're not really African American, are you? Like maybe like 100 generations ago, but when I think of like African American, I think of an African that has immigrated to America and have lived there for a long while, gotten citizenship. To me, that is like African American. Or maybe if they're like first generation or second generation, I would be like, all right, there we go. But when you start to become like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like, I think removing the first part and just call yourself American, whatever, I think is what you should do. I mean, I am first generation. No, I'm not first. Wait, yes, first generation. I'm second generation here in Sweden. I would, when people call me out, like, yeah, sure, I'm Swedish. Just call me that. I mean, I'm born and raised in Sweden. Yeah, even though my mom was born in Germany. And my grandparents were born in the Caucasus Mountains, but not my parents, my grandparents on my mom's side were born in the Caucasus Mountains. So I mean, but we still call ourselves like Greek because we have Greek. I mean, everyone in my fucking family speaks Greek. What was I talking about? Why did I talk about that? Yeah, I was talking about sugar. Yeah, I think sugar, the Anglosphere, too much sugar in everything. You think, yeah, I think, yeah, there must be something in Anglo-Saxon, like genes or something, where they cannot taste sugar as well as others. And that's probably why they have so much sugar in everything. Or so much sweetness. I should probably say sweetness, because it's not just sugar. Even when they do sugar-free versions, they're like so fucking sweet. Probably even sweeter most of the times. Like, fuck me, that is too sweet. Yeah, so I don't think it's a problem with America. I think it's a problem with the Anglosphere. Johnny McClanuta. Alright. Johnny McClanuta. Germans had V2 rockets. Oh, and that was also on the Bad Company 2 Part 1 Let's Play. Yeah, because I remember, Jesus Christ, that was like over a week ago I played, but I still remember what the comment is about. Yeah, because in the game they talked a bit about, we have the nuclear bomb. The Japanese have apparently this mystery weapon that is what the game is about. And he explained, oh yeah, V2 rockets. I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard about those. Yeah, that was like a super late war weapon that the Germans came up with, right? I don't truly remember exactly what V2 rockets were. I'm just gonna say it right. I'm not even gonna look it up. Were V2 rockets like rockets that flew like so fast that like the Allies, they just couldn't stop them, because by the time the V rocket hit its destination, like they couldn't track to see like, oh, there's the V2 rockets, try and shoot it down or something. They just couldn't do it. They're like, boom, like, oh shit, things exploded. What happened? Was that what the V2 rockets was about? I think so, but I could be wrong. And the last comment by Andrew. on showing off my figurines and Fav Pero hentai series. The comment is, what's the name of the show? I don't know. I mean, that video is like 3 years old probably, right? So, I mean, you have to give it at least a timestamp or something, because just leaving a comment like that, what's the name of the show? Like, I don't know, like, I don't remember what I was talking about in the video. Oh yeah, here a comment by Ir, which is quite a long one. I have read it, and I kind of agree with a decent amount of it. Yeah, but I don't really have much to say, because it's just like, I agree with it a lot. But the comment is, and that was also on that Rambutan one, that, oh god. People get so unbelievably heated about what is happening in the US, even though it has zero impact on their lives and they have no stakes in the outcome. People at work, and even my roommate, who considers himself apolitical and doesn't give a shit ends about who considers himself apolitical and doesn't give a shit, ends up talking to me about supporting BLM and being anti-Trump and his supporters. BLM. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Okay. It's somewhat unsettling how the people mentioned above, normies or not, get so zealous about all of this without seemingly being able to see just how uncomfortable it makes others and how it clashes with their statements. I can't really tell if people tend to end up like this in general or not. Unreflective is the word I would use to describe it. And just there at the end, just how they don't see how uncomfortable it makes people and all that. That is, I guess, because everything else, I agree with you. Like, people call themselves like, oh, I'm unpolitical, blah, 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 and then will spend like 80% of their day just talking about American politics and Trump and leftists, and like, oh my god, you are not unpolitical, like. And then the same people will then say, oh, Americans think they're the center of the universe. The Americans are the center of your universe. But I do think that, yeah, they understand. Like, does it make people uncomfortable? I don't think so. Most of the times, like, I don't think it's an uncomfortability that people feel. I think it's just a complete exhaustion. And like, do we have to talk about politics? Like, this is so, like, how often can you just talk about the same shit over and over and over again? Like, spice things up. Yeah, so I don't think it's necessarily that they don't understand and makes people uncomfortable. I think it's, unless uncomfortable is just, I'm thinking of it as the wrong word. Maybe because uncomfortable, when I think of that word, I think it like, it makes people feel like, oh god, please, I don't want to talk about this. That is how I feel, like uncomfortable. But it could be that what I just described, how it might make people feel, maybe that is uncomfortable. Like, people are just so fucking exhausted and bored talking about politics because it doesn't matter. Okay, my door opened up. Probably because my mom opened her window and my window is open as well. And also, we had the first days of snow, or not first days, like a week ago. First days of snow where I live. Yeah. And it's also like -8 degrees Celsius right now. So winter came late. Winter came in January. But yeah. So hopefully with the Biden winning, maybe things will not be just about American politics, even though I mean, if you look at their track record, I do think like Biden probably deserves way more scrutiny and all that than what Trump did. I think Trump overall pretty like worthless president in a sense. I guess it did show a little bit, however, hopefully to some Americans, that when Trump tried to pull out, he was starting all that pullout. It was such a like huge backlash to that, and some generals apparently in America refused. So hopefully that is something people might focus. They're not going to. I know they're not going to, because even the most left-wing Americans are not going to give a fuck. Like, they might say like, oh, we're anti-military, we're anti-intervention, all that bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. They care. They want it. But I don't know. The stock market is doing okay. I had a pretty good year in the stock market last year. And hopefully it will go well this year as well. I mean, I'm talking about something completely different than your comment. Let's go to something else. Stocks. What am I talking about? Yeah. Hopefully it will be a good year. Like, just last year actually went 38% plus on my investments last year. It includes dividends and that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm finally plus on my stocks. I think overall I'm plus like 3 or 5% overall. And that is after I took over, because I've talked about this before. We got completely fucked with insurance and all that. And then, yeah, we got completely fucked. My mom lost like 500,000 Swedish kroner because the insurance were fucking with us. And then, when we finally won, we got 200,000. It's like, all right, minus 300,000, and it will probably be way more, because that's 500,000 we think my mom had invested in, and that was like, Jesus Christ, like 10 years. So who knows how much of that would have been now with the, and it also wouldn't put so much pressure on us right now, because it's 500,000 that we can prove that we lost from their fuckery, and it doesn't factor in all the help we needed to pay for, like driving back and forth to the hospital, have to buy like specialty gear for me. Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if my mom probably lost 600,000 to 700,000 Swedish kroners. But slowly building back, I guess. At the time right now, I think I'm up to 220,000 right now. Yes, because it was like 100. I think it was 190,000 that got put into the account, and when I took control of it, I think it was down to 90,000 something. So they not only did it fuck us, like my mom probably lost 700,000, we got 200,000 from all the fuckery. So that's a net loss of 500,000. And then I was not supposed to be allowed to get control of the account until I was 25, I think. others like, go fuck yourself, you fucking asshole. We had to fight for a couple of years for that. And I think 2 or 3 years ago is when I got control of it. And by that time, in just like 2 years, they had completely tanked the fucking stock or the investment by 40, what was it, 50 something percent. Like, go fuck yourselves. Like, yeah, if it wasn't for insurance and all that, it probably would be in it. Even with all these medical shit that has happened to us, we probably would still be in a decent economic situation, because my mom were investing a lot, like no debt at all, nothing. My mom was saving up, investing all the savings. Her investments were doing very well. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah. So, but we'll see how things end up. I mean, because me and my mom, we've done like, if I were to try and live off entirely just my investments, and if 100% of it was just in dividends, I think I would have to have like 4 million or something invested just in dividends overall. And I mean, there's a long way to that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We do have my plans for investing a lot is until I'm 30, so it's like 6 years plus, and then we'll see how my life situation is at 30. Because like I said, I have the 5-year plan. I like to just evaluate my life to see, well, should I continue on? And I have that until 30 is when I'll reflect on everything. If I were to ask myself that question today, I would say continue on another 5 years. But when I become 30, I think I'm gonna do it 10 years to 40. And reflect and all that, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll be better by then. Because I really don't want to be like this my entire fucking life. Yeah, but we'll see how the economic situation turns out. But so far, the investments that I've made are going well. I mean, I am also putting in around 400 SEK a month into investment, which is around $40. So I'm investing around $40 a month. And I get around $40 in dividends a month as well. Even though all my investments are not monthly. I only have 2 stock. I have 2 stock that pays out monthly, and most of them pays out quarterly. But overall, if you put all of the investments together, it is around $40 a month. So you could say that I'm investing around $80 a month, which I think is pretty good for someone in my situation. Because I mean, we're not in a situation where we're gonna starve or get kicked out. So yeah, we have our economy is like okay, it's stable. It is slowly going up actually. But I mean, we do live in a below average income neighborhood, which isn't super terrible. Um, there are, I mean, stabbings, like, and rapes and all that, like, once or twice every month. It's mostly between gang members, even though pretty recently it was someone got stabbed outside the ATM machine. Oh god, only 5% more battery, it says. It's charging. What was it talking about? Okay, I don't remember what I was talking about, but oh yeah, where I live. Hopefully it will become better because they're doing like super development in this area. I mean, they plan on increasing the population numbers where I live by like almost 100% in the coming 5 years. And the plans that they're showing that they're planning on building, and they have started building a lot of it. It looks good. Like, they're trying to keep it like green city, like, or city, like where I live. There's around 9,000 people. Often it's like 8 to 10,000, so somewhere between 8 to 10,000. They plan by 2025, 2026. They plan on having it around 18 to 21,000 is the plan. And yeah, what they've shown looks good. I mean, the new school that they build, like, it looks like super, like, Jesus Christ, I wish the schools looked like that when I went to school in this shithole. Like, the schools I went to in this were actual shitholes. And then in the last couple of years, the upgrades they made to some of the schools that existed, like, what the fuck? This looks amazing. Like, it looks actually really good. Well, like one of the schools right here, they have like 2 football planes. One, and both of them are grass. One is smaller for kids, and one is like a actual size football field. There is like 2 basketball things. There's a fuck ton of other things. There is training equipment and all that stuff. Like, what the fuck? When I went here, there was the small football field, and it wasn't fake grass. It was pebbles. Like, and then the fucking teacher was like, all right, today we're gonna play football. And yeah, on the pebbles, like, back when I could, and obviously when I'm talking about this was like when I was 10 to 12. But yeah, it's like, it was so fucking horrific because it fucking hurt. You couldn't play anything. Um, but yeah, it does look like they're making it a bit better, and maybe the apartment where we live, maybe its value will increase a fuck ton. Who knows? By that time. So I actually have high hopes for where I live at the moment. That it will get better. I do think there will be a period like it has been right now. This last couple of years, they actually gotten worse. But I do think it's gonna get a bit worse, and then it's gonna get a lot better, I hope. Because I think as they start building out and all that, it does look like they're building a little bit higher quality stuff, not just shitty apartments. So I think that will make it so that the police are like actually gonna patrol around and actually care about this area, because I mean, like I said before, it takes even though the police station and all that is like 30 minutes away, it takes the police around 12 to 24 hours to get here. So yeah. And even though, I mean, Jesus Christ, I think it was like 95% of the criminals that they catch and all that aren't even from this area. So I actually live in an area where the people who live here is mostly like older people and families. And also, obviously, it's a lot of immigrants here. But it's mostly immigrants that fled from the other immigrants areas, but cannot afford like the Swedish areas. So they move here. And what does that mean? Well, this is a prime time area like for criminals to get here and fucking harass people. Like I've said a lot, like the gang members, I mean, they're not from these areas. And also like the white pride homosexual biker gangs, they're not from here either. They're like, where the fuck are they coming from? Like, but they also harass people here. I think it's probably because the people who live here tend to be way more moderate immigrants. So I think that is why those white pride biker gangs are targeting this area, because they're not gonna fucking go to like Rinkeby and Tensta, where the immigrants they will fuck with are actual like psychopaths and fucking rapists and murderers themselves. Even though I wouldn't call these white pride biker gangs murderers and rapists, because I don't think, as far as I know, that's not what they do. They just harass people. But they still should like, I don't know. So hopefully all that stuff will start disappearing in a few years. I think it will. I think it will. I have high hopes. Because I wouldn't want to leave. I mean, as you've probably seen in some of the prominent videos on that, it is a nice area. I like it. It is beautiful. It used to be a bit more beautiful, but even the things that they're building and all that, they're not tearing down as much forests and all that I thought they were going to do. They're actually doing it in pretty good areas, and they're trying to, like, for example, they have built, like, in some of the areas that they've destroyed and all that, they have built, like, bus stops, or what it's called, is like places where there will be a lot of flowers and all that, but not just all bit flowers that are native, and they will change and shift with the seasons like it does naturally, so that the bees will still have food, as an example. And it is something I've seen in because back in the day you would see a fuck ton of bees where I live, because not only are there actually a lot of beekeepers around these parts, but there was, like, there used to be a lot of place for the bees to eat. But then, in a period, I was like, oh shit, we noticed, like, we haven't seen a bee in, like, years. But now, in later years, you're seeing bees again. And humblebees. Are they called humble? Yes, those fat ones. So those are you starting to see again as well. Yeah, and you're also seeing way more hares, rabbits and all that, and also not reindeers have started to come back as well. Oh, okay, it said maximum file size reached, but it's still recording, so we'll see. We're probably gonna split it into 2 videos, and then I'm gonna have to put it into one. Hopefully hopefully it can handle putting like long videos together. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait until the computer. But I mean, we have procrastinated. I could probably go in and do it on the computer as well, even though today is when we plan on tearing down the old desk. So yeah, I think this drink review, the later part, has actually been pretty good. This is a pretty good drink review, the later part. Sadly, I think the beginning was pretty bad. So I think most people are not even gonna watch this part. But for you who are watching, leave a comment. Say, I watched, or something like that. And then I know, like, you watched this far, 42 minutes or 41:20. Probably gonna end up being 42 minutes. But yeah. Maybe tomorrow or whatever. No, not tomorrow, because we're probably gonna... we'll see. Maybe I'll do a promenade video where we just roll around now in the snow, because it's snow. I like snow. I like how this place looks when it's snowy. But yeah, thank you for watching and have a good 2021.